Alright, we're back. Silence that beautiful music. We gotta play more Star Trek. We've had our fun with these brief little dalliances, the Star Wreck, of Starship Dizzy. We gotta go back. We need the real deal Star Trek gaming. Let's boot up. Let's return to Star Trek First Contact. Unfinished Star Trek gaming. Unfinished business here. We've played this game twice this week. Now we're going back for a third time. 4 times even, technically, if you want to count the DOS version. This is a original story based on the original series. No relation to the film of the same title. I started playing this one on the Apple II, and I got stuck. And then we switched to the DOS version, and I beat the whole game, but the DOS version is substantially different in a number of ways. And we went back to the Apple II, and I got stuck again. So now we're going back again for the 4th time, because I have to finish this game. We simply must. It is worth playing this as well as the DOS version, because the differences are notable enough to make the experience of playing it totally different. This Apple II version also has beautiful graphics, and the DOS version uses 4-color CGA. It looks pretty cool, but it's nowhere near as nice as this one. I have since figured out, well, I haven't figured it out. I was told how to get past the part I was stuck on. Also, I don't know if there's any playthroughs of this game. Star Trek First Contact Apple II. I don't know if there's any playthroughs of this version of this game on the internet. I found a long play of this game on the internet. Okay, I'm a liar. It has 2 views from 4 hours ago? Uploaded 4 hours ago? Who's this? Whose YouTube account is this? Are you watching my stream right now? Just get good, bro. Who are you? Reveal yourself right now. 4 hours ago? Erebus. Is this Vino? Okay, I think I know who this is. There's also an Erebus playthrough here. That's the giveaway. Cool. So we have resources. Anyway, we gotta play it. Let's boot it up. Let's get back into the Star Trek. Go back over here. Game. Let's rework the scene here. We'll do it live. Star Trek First Contact. Apple IIe, 1987. Do a line break. Shrink. Slide over. I thought that was you, Vino. I found it. I was just saying, there doesn't seem to be any long plays or any footage of this version of the game anywhere on the internet, and then I came across your YouTube video. Get rid of that. Let's play it. I'm excited for this. We need to set the capture up for Apple II. We need to adjust the cropping a little bit. You'd think I would use like a bespoke source in OBS for all these different emulators I use, but I don't. The secret is I usually just set up the source for that specific emulator before I go live. And I just use the same one every time. Some of them need special cropping. Okay, put the disc in. Let's go. Reset the timer. Please wait. Oh, I gotta change the title of the stream. We're not Dizzy Gaming. Star Trek Week continue. We'll just do Star Trek First Contact again. Good enough. Okay, that's all the music we're getting. Press start. Turn the timer on. Shoutouts to Subway Software. Put the side 2 in. Press any key. All right, here we go again. There's Mr. Spock. The grayness of space. Standing on the bridge of the Enterprise, it isn't the fleet's newest vessel, but extensive modifications keep it the most technologically advanced, and its exploits have made it the most famous. Command chair affords a good view of the navigator and helmsman, as well as the ship's stations, which line the circumference of the huge circular room. Turbolift is just up the short staircase across the room from the view screen. In the area, Spock, Zulu, Uhura, Chekhov, Avoca, and Computer. There's a message coming in on Starfleet frequency, Captain. They request the Enterprise to orbit Earth in the Sirius system to await a mission briefing. Okay, so we command Zulu, orbit Earth. There's no spark in this. This is legit. This is officially licensed Star Trek software. Appearing on the bridge view screen is a blue-green world known as Hearth. Beautiful. Deep brown land masses and vast green-gold oceans cover most of the planet's surface. As the Enterprise closes on Hearth, its image grows until it all but fills the screen. Make out a great mountain range running across the breadth of the planet. I've read all this before. I don't know why I'm reading it again. Skip. Entering standard orbit around Hearth, Captain. Message comes in. We're entering a restricted zone. Identify your ship immediately. Uhura. Oh, I pressed backspace. Okay, we can't press backspace. Uhura, open a channel to Hearth. Okay, Admiral Brandon Takar beams aboard. Shields are down. Transporter cleared for use. Now we have to go escort him to the bridge. So to get to the bridge, we go down to the turbo lift. So movement is based on the directions up here at the top. We can go left doesn't lead anywhere, right doesn't lead anywhere, down doesn't lead anywhere, up leads to the bridge. This has a very unique interface, which I think is really cool. I like how the color scheme, like the different windows are color coded or have different borders. 3 is the number of turns we've taken. Turbo lift is our present location. 2 in comm. 2 is the last person we spoke with. In comm is the last person we spoke with over the communicator. Oftentimes these are the same, but sometimes they're not. So the game remembers the last person we spoke to was Renner, who is the transporter tech. This is the Kirk window. It's our text parser where we can type our commands. The game treats everything we type into the Kirk window as Kirk is saying these words. So it's not a standard text parser where we tell Kirk to do things by typing them. To do things, we have to press Apple 1 to open the help menu. And here's where our verbs are. We don't need to use the verbs. And then the bottom is our little status window. This is mostly irrelevant for now, but interesting to see. We're in the turbo lift. We need to go to the transporter room, which is on deck 7. We go out. Go right down the corridor. Ensign Gomez darts by into the turbo lift. Near the library, corridor. Okay, there's the transporter. The car is here. Hulking young Lieutenant Jacob Gomez stands at attention. Fleet Admiral Takar. Captain Kirk, I'm glad to see you again. Lead me to the bridge so we can discuss the mission. Okay? Chekhov dashes out. No checkout. Just Chekhov. Go to the bridge. May I address the crew? Yes. Yeah, this is where we get the first plot dump of the game. Fleet Admiral Brandon Sakharov asked Kirk to permit me to brief you. The Enterprise will head for the Centauri system at Warp 8 and orbit Station Lambda. There, diplomats bound for the coronation of Crown Prince Clavis III will beam aboard. The Enterprise will then head for Gothica at Warp 1. The Federation hopes to establish stronger ties with this neutral planet, so our famous Enterprise and these delegates will represent us on this strategic mission. Our trust goes with you all. Thank you. Please escort me to the transporter room so I can return to Earth. Okay. Tell him to follow me. This might be... You might not need to tell him to follow you. Go back down to deck 7. Go right a couple steps. Down to the transporter. Takar takes you aside for a moment, hands you an envelope bearing the Federation's seal. Quietly tells you, so no one but you can hear him, Starfleet Command has entrusted the Enterprise with an important mission, the details of which are enclosed in the envelope. Under no circumstances are you to examine these orders till you attain Station Lambda orbit. And he beams down. Now what we can do, because this is a cool game, is we can say, Kirk to Sulu. Sulu here, sir. We're using the comm to talk to it. Set course for Centauri system? Locking course on Centauri. Warp 8. Aye, aye, sir. Going to warp factor 8. Okay, and now by the time we get back to the bridge, we'll have arrived there because we're traveling super fast. So one of the reasons I got stuck so many times in this game is it's turn-based, but there's like seemingly an incredibly strict limit to the turns, a timer. As soon as we arrive at Lambda Station, things are just going to be happening. Boom, 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 boom. If you don't keep up and resolve every incident perfectly, then you just lose. It's really hard. And the interface is kind of tricky to wrap your head around and understand how to interact and talk to people. And that part I'm still not good at. We've arrived at the bridge. Destination achieved, sir. Entering the Centauri system. Okay, so we tell... we're currently speaking to Sulu, so we don't need to address him. To orbit Lambda Station. We get a nice little screen. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's the station. That's it. Okay, now we need to acknowledge. So Uhura, open the channel to Lambda. Diplomats ready for beam up. Shields are down. Okay, diplomats are aboard. Commander Chambers escorted them to the visitors lounge for your formal welcome. I gotta open up my map. I did not open my map. Where's my map? There's my map. Deck 5. I'm just going to leave that over there. Helm ready, sir. So we picked up the diplomats. We need to set a course for Gothica, Warp 1. Set course for Gothica. Warp 1. Aye, aye, sir. Going to warp factor 1. Now we've achieved Station Lambda orbit, so let's examine our secret briefings. Secret orders. There we go. Text of the orders reads, Starfleet Command has picked up a superpulse, a phenomenon with the intensity of a quasar, originating from somewhere within the Tal system. Scientists cannot explain this as a natural occurrence. The ultimate objective is to seek the origin of the superpulse and learn the circumstances of its appearance. Remember, Jim, the ruse of the diplomatic mission is vital because you must also cross dangerous Klingon space to reach the superpulse. Also, we must be first to discover the pulsar. Otherwise, the Klingons may discover the unusual neutron source. Those bloody Klingons! Okay, let's go to the visitors' lounge and meet with the diplomats who just beamed aboard. So now we have a mission and a secret mission. Go to deck 5. The lounge is to the left. And then up. The gang's all here. There they are. These little cut-in graphics, these are like entirely the reason I want to play this version so badly and see it through to the end. Because I think these scenes are worth the price of admission. It just looks so cool. Like, these are really good, like, human portraits for the Apple II. Like, these graphics are incredible. Lore dump, blah, 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 blah. Commander Chambers introduces us to everybody. There's like 30 billion people here. Just going to skip through a lot of this because, again, I've played this game 5,000 times already and read all of this multiple times. Let's skip through it. Calavis Reblar. Essentially, there are a couple of ambassadors from one race, a bunch of Federation people accompanying those ambassadors. They're all traveling to this planet Gothica to kind of establish formal relations between the Federation and this planet. And the president of the Interstellar Chamber of Commerce is coming as well. Skip all of this. Arrange with Commander Chambers to secure the briefing room for a top secret strategy meeting this evening. Please attend. So that strategy meeting takes place in about 5 turns, or maybe closer to like 30 turns from now. I'll now escort the dignitaries to their staterooms. Please take a moment to visit them when you find some time. There is never time to do that. Special dinner tonight in their honor. That's like 100 turns away. Diplomats leave. See, immediately we have tasks. We're tasked with things to do. Captain, now that these instructions are over, I would like the opportunity to confer with your Dr. McCoy about the special needs of my patient, Mr. Stewart. I'll follow you, Captain. So I'm going to put down a save right here. F11 to do a save state. We'll save it right here. So Hodges wants to meet with a doctor. The first time I played this, I thought I was being clever, and I used the communicator to call the doctor to tell him to come to me, and then they were just unable to recognize one another. So we came up against our first little problem of the game. We have to actually escort Hodges down to sickbay in order for the event to be resolved correctly. So he's currently following us. I'm looking at my map here. Sick bay is on deck 7. Okay, so let's go down to the corridor. Mr. Spock, acting very strange. Can't even open his door. So let's go right to deck 5, go down to the turbo lift, and go to deck 7. Sick bay is a couple steps to the left. Nurse Chapel's here. I guess you and Nurse Chapel have something to discuss. I'll just go into the sick bay and talk with Dr. McCoy. Thank you for seeing me here, Captain. Hodges leaves. Nurse Chapel appears upset. Captain, I'm really worried about Dr. McCoy. He's been acting strange. For the record, Captain, I'd like to file this report. She secretly slips a folded report into your palm. So there's a couple things we can do now. We have a little bit of free time, and by a little bit of free time, I mean like 4 turns before the next event happens. Let's read that report. Or actually, we're talking to Chapel. What if we say, tell me about McCoy? Okay, this is just the standard description of Bones. His piercing gaze, an occasional brusque mask. A generous, that's written very weird. Mask a generous nature and a deep concern for life. He's the ship's chief medical officer. Let's examine the note that she gave us. The report. Report filed by Nurse Chapel describes events which took place in sickbay this morning. Dr. McCoy wandered around the room aimlessly, failed to recognize her on sight, handled medical apparatus as though it were totally unfamiliar to him. So yeah, this is just one of the different ways we're learning that there is an imposter on board. A shapeshifter who is assuming the form of different crew members has snuck on board. Now, I never beat this version at Noir. I started playing the Apple II version of this game, got stuck, swapped to the DOS version, played through it entirely, came back to the Apple II version, got stuck again. So now we're trying it a third time. Tell me about report. This can't be McCoy. He may be a bit crusty, but this is ridiculous. So we can head down to sickbay and confront McCoy about this. Go into the office. McCoy is here. Tell me about report. Jim, you've got to know that there's not one single shred of truth in this report. I wasn't even in sickbay at the time. I'm supposed to have carried on so strangely. You've got to believe me, Jim. I was laying down in the rec area, taking a nap. Captain, can I be having a word with you in my office? I'd like to have Mr. Spock in on this too. As soon as you can. Spock enters. I will follow you, Captain. Okay, so we don't know what's going on with Bones, even though we do know what's going on with Bones. Let's head to engineering, which also happens to be on deck 7. Dials, meters, gauges of the main engineering control room surround you. From here, Mr. Scott and his expert crew. Let's go into Scott's office. And I've read all this. I don't know why I feel compelled to read it again. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice Spock approaching. How could this be? Spock is standing right next to you. Suddenly, the other Spock reaches out to apply the Vulcan nerve pinch to the Spock at your side. Startled, you watch as this Spock falls unconscious. His features undergo a startling transformation, revealing that he is actually a shape-changing being from the planet Celtic. Seems we have a wee bit of an imposter here, Captain. Okay, just skipping through a lot of this. I want to get back to where I got stuck before. His name is Denjik of the planet Celtic. So he snuck on board the starship because his race was also able to observe the super pulse emanating from the Tal system, and they're curious about it. Somehow they know that the Federation is also tracking the super pulse, even though only Kirk on this ship knows about it. But best not to think too hard about that. He wants to help with our mission. Spock vouches for him, I guess for his race. Recommends we cooperate. Mr. Scott is quite suspicious, naturally so, considering he tied up Mr. Spock. We're going to say yes. We're going to let him remain at liberty here. So in the DOS version, Denjik doesn't do anything else. It's very strange. It feels like a loose end that they just forgot about. Denjik sneaks on your ship, where you can assume that he was shape-shifted as McCoy when McCoy was acting in a stupor, and then you swap to Spock. Probably the different crew members we saw coming out of the turbo lift may have also been Denjik. When Spock was like confused at the door to his quarters, he was likely actually Denjik. But like in the DOS version here, we recruit Denjik and then there's just nothing happens for the rest of the game. So maybe it's going to be a little different here. I think we're done here for now. So we have to head for the briefing meeting. It's going to happen any moment now. So let's head back to the turbo lift. Go to deck 5. Okay, the meeting hasn't started yet. So we have a couple turns to kill here. Yeah, turn 76, we get an alert from Spock. The strategy meeting is beginning on deck 5 and we should not miss it. I will follow you, Captain. Now I wonder, I'm going to put down a save right here. I wonder if I can miss the meeting or not. So I'm just going to walk back and forth a whole bunch. Maybe I've been thinking that the timer is much more rigid than it actually is. Johansson, I didn't want to come over here. Like maybe we're not actually on that strict of a timeline. And maybe time doesn't continue to progress until we actually go and do this meeting. And so this is like a window where I can go do whatever I want. I'm not getting any message that we've missed the meeting. Okay. So maybe the dinner party functions the same way as well. And we're actually free to spend as much time as we like getting to the party. But once we're at the party, that's when things become more strict. Yeah, I've been pacing back and forth for like 40 turns now. So let's head to the meeting now. Yeah. And it just starts. Okay, I'm going to restore. That's good information. Okay, that actually is really good to know. We're gonna head straight to the meeting though. I don't have anything else I want to do during this downtime. Captain, go on in. I'll check you and Mr. Spock off the list. So this is a strategy meeting as to how the Federation and the representatives will cement the friendship between them and Gothica. Very boring diplomatic stuff. Fortunately, Uhura saves us from the meeting by saying we have a message. Opolsky runs out of the room ahead of us. We walk out, and the security officer, Johansson, says that there's a discrepancy in the list. We'll just ignore him for now. We need to go up to the bridge. Yeah, I still haven't explored all the decks. I have not spent any time exploring any decks other than the bridge, deck 5, and deck 7. I don't think we'll find anything. Uhura, give me the message. Uhura gives you the message. Let's read it. Not the secret orders, not the report. When you look at the message, Apple 5. So we're getting messages from Starfleet Academy? It feels weird that the message is coming from the Commandant of Starfleet Academy and not like Starfleet headquarters. I assume the headquarters is different from the Academy, but maybe it's just the same place? Suspected security breach. Lambda base reports a security breach at our time, at or around the time of the Enterprise's departure. So now we know for sure there's an imposter on board. Now this is tricky because we've already unmasked Denjik, the shapeshifter. But there's a secret second imposter on board. One of the delegation is not who they appear. Do not hesitate to arrest and detain suspected interloper given sufficient grounds. This one's tricky, Jim. Try not to upset the passengers. Don't orbit Gothic until you're satisfied the situation's been resolved. Okay. Okay. Secret mission that somehow everyone knows about, I know. Go back to deck 5. So the strategy meeting is still going on. We can head into the briefing room. We can't sit in and listen to any of it. We just have to wait until it's done. The message disintegrates. Now that the meeting's over, I have a completed attendance list here in security. All right, let's go. Security's down at deck 7. Head left. We're talking to Johansson. So we say, give me the list. Gives you the list. I'd like to analyze the list after you have examined it, Captain. So let's examine it. The list. List of attendees to the strategy meeting. Check marks indicate everyone on the list actually attended. Mr. Popolski's exit's not reported. Check mark next to your name indicates you left the briefing room. We need to give this to Mr. Spock. Thank you, sir. Command him to analyze the list. The list has all the attendees as in and out. However, you are marked as having left early, and Popolski not at all. Perhaps Mr. Popolski might resolve this discrepancy. Follow me. We gotta get to the bottom of this. Emergency mission notice just came in. Okay. Back to the bridge. Uhura, give me the notice. It's just always something. Mission notice. Another fax memo from the same person. Cessation of superpulse signal. As of 2 hours ago, the superpulse phenomenon ceased to exist. Stations monitoring the signal reported an abrupt silencing of the neutron radiation that suddenly began months ago. Discharge your duties on Gothica as expediently as possible. Advise your science officer and proceed to the TAL system with caution. So we have to make haste. That's just what they're saying. Okay. Well, we need to investigate Popolski, who left the meeting early but did not get marked as having ever left the meeting. Let's go to deck 5. Popolski's room is left 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Then down. The body of Leon Popolski lies sprawled on the floor. He appears to be dead. Let's examine Popolski. Close examination of the body reveals large discolorations at the sides of the neck. Strangulation! Kirk to Bones. Come here. Heading to the stateroom. McCoy enters. We're talking to Bones. Tell me about Popolski. Jim, this man has been strangled. I'd estimate time of death at some time between 1 and 4 hours before the strategy meeting. So this tells us that the Popolski who attended the meeting was obviously a fake because this one was already dead. So we were trying to track down that shapeshifter. Well, Spock, tell me about Popolski. Captain, I suspect the other diplomats might know something. I suggest we go to their staterooms and interrogate them. Perhaps by asking them to tell us about their fellow travelers, we can find the murderer. So I'm going to put down a save here. So this is the part I could never figure out how to get past in the multiple times I've played this. I even got to this point offline and experimented. I literally went to every room on the ship. Not on the ship. All of the different delegates' rooms and asked every delegate about everybody else. And not one of them ever said anything suspicious. I'm not entirely sure how the player is meant to figure out who the imposter is. If we follow Spock's advice, we learn nothing of interest. Unless there's just like a command, a very specific prompt I'm supposed to type in that would reveal more information that I didn't stumble on. I know from playing the DOS version who the imposter is. So we'll have Spock follow me. Mission notice disintegrates. Okay. If we head down to the Formid Suite, the southernmost chamber is a meditation room where we have some Thembo root on the ground and Dennis here. So we want to take the Thembo root, open the inventory screen, take the Thembo root. And I believe what you're intended to do now is head up to the bridge. Because again, okay, so let's just for a point of, we're talking to Dennis here. Tell me about Popolski. There's nothing unusual about Popolski. Tell me about fellow travelers. I don't know the word fellow. I don't know the word travelers. Excuse me, Captain. It's time. See, we only had 2 turns. I was able to ask 2 questions. And now it's dinner time and she's gone. This is really tough. I think what you're supposed to do... Now, we can assume that time is frozen at this point until we arrive at the dinner. But all of the delegates have gone to the dining room to eat. So we can't talk to any of the delegates about one another because they're all in the dining room. We do have the Thembo route, though. We can head back up to the bridge. Dino, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Dino and Raiders. How's it going, everybody? I hope you had an excellent stream. I caught the start of it. And then I had to play some Star Trek games. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, everybody. We're real dank gaming today. This is Star Trek for the Apple II. Star Trek First Contact for the Apple II. I've been trying all week long to figure out how to beat this game. And I think we're going to do it today. Yeah, welcome, Raiders. Welcome, everybody. You got stuck. Oh, that happened to me in this game. I got stuck on this multiple times. X Squad. I was trying to remember the name. I've been stuck on this game all week long. It's driving me insane. Let's head up to the bridge. There's nothing unusual about the bridge. Oh, whoops. That was weird. Okay. So I think what we want to do, I think what you're meant to do at this point is do the use menu and use the computer. Oops, gotta put the disc in. and we use the computer to do some research here. We picked up a Thembo root. And there's walls of text here. I've read through all of this multiple times, so I'm not going to read it again. Essentially, the Thembo root causes nausea and dizziness when ingested by all non-female inhabitants of Formi and all inhabitants of other known worlds. So we have a root in our possession that gives people tummy aches, the tummy ache root. Unless you are a female Formi. Formi is an alien species. We know that the ambassador Sori has 2 female Formid attendants, Marie and Dennis. We can look up information about them. There's articles about Formid cuisine, Formid culture, the ambassador, the Ruth, the religion. Raz-Khanati is the religion. Or Neo-Res-Khanati. There's typos galore. Mediation instead of meditation. I think what you're supposed to do is use the computer here to work out that the Thembo root is specifically used in religious ceremonies for this alien race. Only the females take part of the religious ceremony because they're the only people who can take the Thembo root without tummy hurt. But we found it in the meditation chamber, but there was only one person there. The other attendant, Marie, was in a different room, not observing the religious practices, not meditating with the other person. So I think that's how we're supposed to understand who the imposter is. Because they're not meditating with the other person, then we can say, hey, something weird's going on. Let's close computer. Let's go down to deck 5. Let's see if we've missed the dinner or not. I have a map, by the way. I made a map of this. I just don't have it on stream like I normally do. Beautiful map here. Look at all these rooms. I'm just following this to get where I need to go. Go left. Left again. Left again. Go up to the dining room. So the gang's all here. We're having a fancy dinner party with the diplomats and ambassadors and all these people. The yeoman Frey Swartz is the chef. Captain, I have the appetizers for our guests. So I couldn't, this is where I got stuck. And thank you, Vino, for cluing me into this. We need to give the Thembo root to Swartz here. Just go open the give menu. Thembo root. Thank you, sir. I'll put the Thembo root in the appetizers. Now we have to say, give me the appetizers. Gives you the appetizers. And we have to manually give the appetizers that now have the Thembo root in them to the person that we're suspicious of. So, Marie, the attendant of the Formid delegation who was not meditating with the other person. Give appetizers. Thank you, sir. Oh, Marie eats an appetizer, then suddenly her form shimmers for a few seconds. Where Marie stood is a short, ugly humanoid Lekvar, gagging and spitting out the remains of the appetizer. She's consumed by this violent sickness as he rolls on the floor coughing. Yes! Marie, what's become of you? As I surmised, Captain, a polymorph. Spock, you did not surmise anything! Spock, arrest Marie. I don't. Oh, what was their name? Lekmar? Lakmir? Lakshmaru? Examine. Rablar? Amgriel? Zlitif? Lekvar. Okay, Apple 9. There's nothing unusual about Lekvar. Spock, arrest Lekvar. As soon as he sounds the security alert, Security Officer Johansson hurries into the room with his phaser drawn. Johansson then drags Lekvar out by his collar. Several minutes later, he returns, beaming casually as though he'd enjoyed a 10-kilometer run. Captain, we finished our preliminary interrogation of the prisoner. His name is Lekvar, and he's been working as a Klingon agent. After some coercion, he admitted to sneaking on board so he could learn our intentions and sabotage our mission. My guess is that he joined the entourage at Lambda and he murdered Mr. Popolsky to attend the security meeting. He may have done the same to the real Marie. He was supposed to contact the Klingon courier on Gothica, but can't now. Continue the interrogation, Captain. As they always do, these formal dinners take too long to end. As the dinner wears on, Mr. Vanderweis's distractions let you forget the gravity of the situation. Finally, it does end. Okay, this is new progress. This is we've made it. It's happening. I'm gonna save here. Finally! So in the DOS version of this game, you give the thimble root to the chef. He prepares it in the meal and just serves it to everybody. And then the imposter eats it without any further actions on your part. I got stuck here because you have to get the appetizers from them after they've been poisoned and deliver them yourself. So just little differences like that between systems, between ports, can really trip you up. This game has so many colors. It's really good. I like the style of this game a lot. There's full screen portraits as well, which are just fantastic. I think we're done. There's nothing else to do. We just need to kill time until we arrive at Gothica. We've solved the plot of the multiple shapeshifters. So let's head up to the bridge. I guess we could probably speed things up a little bit. We're traveling at warp 1. Oh, what's this? We must have made it. Destination achieved, sir. Entering a Shada system. Okay, let's go up to the bridge. We need to tell. Let's just creep a little bit. Hold on. Whoa! I didn't know we could relook at that. Okay, if I accidentally press look, it redoes that. I wanted it to creep on Evoca. 6'1" with black hair, brown eyes, strikingly beautiful woman awaiting your command. Lieutenant Evoca is the OC of the the writers of this game. This is the third Star Trek game in their series of Star Trek games that they've made. I believe Evoca is in one other, maybe the other two. And of course, if you're writing Star Trek fanfiction, you gotta put a hot babe on the bridge. Strikingly beautiful woman. Okay, Sulu. Orbit Gothica. Appearing on the bridge view screen, the blue-green world of Gothica shimmers by. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Gothica is a Class M planet, though perhaps a bit more harsh. It's covered mostly by ocean, but there are many islands, the largest of which are in a crescent-shaped group near the equator. Most of the population is clustered in this region. Entering standard orbit around Gothica, Captain. Planetary authorities beam up and take Lekvar away in chains. Ho ho ho! Chambers enters. I've called the diplomats together to beam down for the coronation ceremony. We hope to see you on Gothica. Shields are down. Transporter is cleared for use. Well, let's go down. Deck 7. Evoca was mentioned in one of the comics. No way. Written by the same author of these games. Okay. That's really funny. At least they're consistent. Head to the transporter. Let's do a save here. I'm just using save states because the one time I tried to use in-game saving and loading, it crapped out. Disk read errors all over the place. So just use save states. Renner, energize me. I don't know the word energize. Renner, energize me. No Britishisms allowed. We're in a small antechamber in Gothica. Demon and Rackmirror here. Standing before you see Lord Demon, aide to the Crown Prince Clavis of Gothica. So we're just here to observe the coronation ceremony. It does our planet great honor to have you and the delegation you bring here with us on this notable occasion. Please proceed to the royal chapel, where the Crown Prince will accept the sacred scepter and the kingship which it symbolizes. And we're just trying to move along because we have our secret mission, which requires us to be elsewhere, but we're also trying to establish relations with this planet. So let's pull up the map. Okay, so we just go right to the corridor, go up the corridor. Royal Chapel is up. Awe-inspiring vaulted ceiling and exquisite stained glass windows distinguish the Royal Chapel of Gothica. The ivory throne of Gothica rests on a raised square platform near the center of the room. To the east is a set of double doors, the main entrance to this vast ceremonial hall. Other doors open to the northwest and south. The scepter is here. Symbol of the monarchy of Gothica glitters before you. Oh. Don't see the scepter, but I love these portraits. These pictures are so great. The diplomats arrive. Varg enters. Footman enters. 2 footmen in full ceremonial dress uniforms take their place by the dais. Demon enters. Lord Demon, resplendent in a gold and silver trimmed robe, leads the procession to the dais where the scepter is displayed. The crowd pushes forward, trying to see the royal party. The royal party enters. The roar of the crowd reaches a thrilling crescendo as the Crown Prince Clavis steps majestically into the chapel. The tall monarch to be nods regally to the left and to the right as he advances to the ivory throne. Prince Clavis has advanced only a few steps when one of the footmen charges out of the crowd. Torchlight glints off the blade of his knife as he lunges at the prince. Grand Patriarch Emmis, caught between the hunter and his quarry, panics, waving his arms in wide circles. The cheers become gasps and screams as the knife wielder shreds the Patriarch's vestments in his attempt to get at the Crown Prince. But the Patriarch, in his blind panic, manages to strike the knife out of the assassin's hands. As chaos seizes the hall, the assassin escapes out the double doors. Someone has stolen the royal scepter! You notice a blood-soaked bundle on the ground. This is terrible, just terrible, an attempt on Crown Prince Clavis's life. The royal scepter stolen. I must go announce that the coronation will be postponed. I'd like to speak with you privately. Please meet me in the royal audience chamber. You can recognize it by the royal seal inlaid on the door. I'll send Vargon ahead to wait for you. I must go now. Everybody leaves. Okay. So we were just supposed to be here to attend the coronation. But as they do in Star Trek universe, things went horribly wrong. Put down a save here. There's a bloody bundle on the ground. So we'll start by picking that up. Grab the knife. And let's examine it. You might want to have Mr. Spock analyze it. Knife. A few fibers from the Grand Patriarch's cloak cling to the tip of the blade. Clearly the assassin almost succeeded with the wrong target. So we need to meet with Demon in the chamber, the royal chambers. And again, unfortunately, I have a map here, so we just go right. A bunch of soldiers here. Go up a couple steps. The Royal Crest of Gothica is here, so that's how we know we're in the right place. Demon enters. Captain Kirk, battle lines are being drawn around us. There must be one uncontested ruler to lead us together. That leader has always borne the scepter. We support the Federation and wish to be inducted into it. However, all our wishes will be swept away if Mergen takes power. Who's that? The bad guy. I implore you to help find the culprit and the scepter. Varg was in the chapel when the incident occurred. I've asked him to assist you in this affair. Demon motions Royal Footman Varg to speak. The assassin was the other footman on duty for the coronation. Usually that'd be Niles, but I didn't recognize the man. Couldn't get a good look at his face, because he had a large mustache. Lord Demon's eyes narrow as he makes a mental note. This is highly irregular. Niles was supposed to be on duty. Maybe we should try to find him. Okay, so let's tell Varg to follow me. And begin the investigation. So in the DOS version, it was literally Niles wearing a fake mustache. It was just, he just had a fake mustache on. So if we go down a few steps and then go right to the office. Yeah, the trash basket's here. Small trash basket next to the desk. Let's examine this. The first thing we do is just rummage through the garbage. It's a round wooden basket rimmed with beaten copper. It's about a foot deep. It contains mostly paper, but some clumps of hair and a tube of glue are also visible. Examine. They're inside the trash. They're not separate, distinct objects. Let's pick up the trash basket. Did that get added to my inventory? Phaser, communicator, secret orders, report, knife. Let's drop the report here. I don't care about... Okay, there it is. So we have more than 5 inventory slots, but seemingly we can only look at 5 items at a time. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just file that report away right there. Let's go find Niles. We go left to the lower level. From here we go left to the upper level. And then go right a couple steps to the office. And here's Niles. In the corner is a man bound and gagged. A quick tug on his bonds frees him. Oh, thank you for releasing me, sir. I was waylaid and then bound. I pray that no harm has come to the king. And so we found Niles. Interesting. Let's examine him. Close look reveals that despite his neat appearance, Niles has a small smudge of sticky spirit gum under his nose. A fool. Absolute buffoon. He's obviously guilty. Follow me. Oops. What happens? Okay, let me do a save here. I don't actually know the correct procedure. What if we say Varg, arrest Niles? I don't see Niles here, sir. What? Where'd he go? He's gone. Because I pressed backspace. Sorry, the the way this emulator, this Apple II emulator works, the backspace button on the keyboard is mapped to the left arrow key for some reason. I should really change that. I have to press delete if I make a typo, not backspace. If I press backspace, I step to the left. Yeah, okay. Varg, arrest Niles. Captain, you may have found me out, but you'll never again find the golden scepter of this tyranny. As I speak, it's headed for deep space and will soon be in my Lord Mergen's hands. Gothic and planetary authorities shackle Niles' hands behind his back and lead him away. Alright, we got him. Easy for me. Easy for Captain Kirk. Captain James T. Cake. Let's go report into Demon. Go down to the lower level. I think we might be done here, but we need to check in with Demon just to be sure. Demon, tell me about Niles. I do not work with him, but I've heard a few words about him from his detachment leader. Nothing of any consequence, just a few scrapes, such as any high-spirited soldier might get into from time to time. I think we're, like, am I done? Did I successfully resolve this? We captured somebody. We arrested a man. I guess we can move on. I feel like I should tell them that I did that. I guess it's just implied that we told them and reported and handed over the evidence. Here, take this trash basket. Thank you, sir. Tell me about trash. Nothing unusual about the trash basket. Ouch. Oh, Spock would tell me to go back here. Okay, I'm going back. Go down, go to the antechamber. There's anarchy in the air and great unrest among the people. The Crown Prince has many enemies. For his safety, we've placed sentries at the door. The men of the Royal Hussars will prevent any incident from marring this occasion. Kirk to Renner. Renner here, sir. Bring me up. Hopefully we don't have to see the Spock message. Well, Spock's here. All hands back to stations. Captain, the ion trail is too dispersed. Too bad we didn't try sooner. What? Coded transmissions from the Gothic militia indicate that a full-scale civil war has broken out. Nope, we failed. Apparently a right-wing group in control of part of the militia is attempting a palace coup. Captain, I've heard your transmission from Starfleet. I regret to inform you you've been relieved to command. Game over. So even though we literally solved the problem, the mystery, we caught the person, the attempted assassin, we literally did everything right. I suspect that because I didn't have Spock with me, the game didn't register that we did it correct. See, this is tough stuff here. Let's restore back to here. This is immediately after the coronation ceremony. Kirk to Spock. Come here. I can't get there from here, sir. Okay, so we needed to have brought Spock with us in the first place, I guess. Or maybe assembled in the way team. Okay, restore back one step further. We're at the Ashada system. This is just before beaming down. So let's talk to Renner. We give him a command here. Go to the orders menu. Transporters. Prepare party. We want Renner here, the transporter technician, to repair a landing party for us. Okay, landing party is now assembled in the transporter room. Are you sure about that? Spock and McCoy are here. Perfect. And Scott's here. Okay. Energize us. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, let's skip through all of this again. Spock, follow me. Spock can't hear you. Did they not beam down with me? Back to Spock. Where are you? I'm in the... Okay, let's restore. Hold on. Printer. I used the wrong command. Orders menu. Transporters. So I did the energize command, which only transports Captain Kirk down. I need to use the beam us down command. That's my bad. Okay, let's prepare a party. I was unclear in my communication. Okay, the party's been prepared. Orders menu. So you can see this game is really cool, but it's really tricky to play. Beam us down. Okay, everybody's here. Perfect. Now we do the exact same thing again. Spock, not spec. Spock, follow me. I'm just going to leave everybody else there. We don't care about them. Scepter, graphics. It's funny how people entering the room take up one entire text box. Royal party enters. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's replace my save. Pick up the bundle. Knife. I'm going to drop the report here. I don't care about it. I'm going to drop the secret orders here. I don't care about it. Go check in with Demon. Go to the right and up a couple steps. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go find Niles. So first we take the detour to the side office. Examine the trash. Pick up the trash. What happens if we, Spock, give trash, analyze trash? There's nothing unusual about the trash basket. If you say so. Spock, arrest Niles. Sir, I believe we may still have a chance of tracking the fleeing vessel. Kirk to Renner. Beam us up. All hands back to stations. Captain! Captain, the ship is leaving the atmosphere at high speed. We're trying to get a lock on it. Oh, okay. Okay. This is totally new. Follow that ship. I don't know the word that. I'll follow you, Captain. Chekhov, you idiot! Captain, I have isolated the ion trail of the fleeing ship. I'm setting a navigation program to track it. Chekhov, go back to your station! I gotta get to the bridge. It's chaos. Breaking out of orbit, sir. Engines to full impulse power. Chekhov's not on his post! Trail's getting stronger, sir. We're closing quickly. Chekhov! Kirk to Chekhov! I don't know the word Chekhov. Kirk to Chekhov! That didn't make sense! What is going on? Where's... I'm going to press the restore button. And not say anything to Chekhov at all. And just walk to the bridge. It's so easy to completely like sequence break this game to the point where it all just breaks down and doesn't work anymore. This game is so cool, but it's also it's got a couple little issues like that. It expects the player to follow a predetermined sequence of actions. If the player deviates from that at any time, the whole thing just falls apart. Okay, everybody's here. So now I'm going to save on the bridge. We might have to do battle here. Okay, pass turns. We're closing quickly. Where's Spock? I have the vessel on my scanner, sir. 2 minutes to interception. Chekhov, raise shields. Acknowledged. Very powerful ion storm has entered the sector, Captain. 7.8 on the Sohm scale. What's that? Evasive action. Sulu. Evasive action. Beginning evasive maneuvers, sir. Captain, I'm having difficulty tracking through all this interference. Whoa! Cool. The ship doesn't shake so much as shiver, since the defense screens protect her. So that ship, we can't just shoot it down because that's where the scepter is. But maybe we can target lock. Chekhov? Yes, Captain. Let's open up the orders menu. Attack orders. Oh, God. We probably need to set phasers, then lock phasers, then fire phasers. Set phasers. Set phasers to what, sir? Off, quarter, half, or full? The fugitive vessel is crash landing on the planet Nepa? What's going on? Phasers to full. It didn't make sense! Acknowledged. Phaser lock. It doesn't! Attack orders. Lock phasers. What target, sir? The ship that we're following! The ship! I can only lock weapons on nearby oh my god! Fire. Fire at will. I don't know the word will. We need a lock on, sir. What did they tell me the ship's name and I've already forgotten it? Restore. This game's impossible. Okay, we're on the bridge. We just have to pace back. I don't know. No, we shouldn't be pacing back and forth. Chekhov, raise shields. Acknowledged. Hello, Reg. Welcome. Okay, I have the vessel on my scanner. Set phasers full. Acknowledged. Chekhov. Phaser lock? It didn't make sense. Chekhov. Lock phasers on ship. I can't. Oh. Cool. Chekhov. Lock phasers on ship. I hate you. I hate Chekhov. You're the worst. Sulu. Follow that ship. I don't know the word that. I'll follow you, Captain. Fugitive vessel is crash landing on the planet Nepa. Sulu. Orbit Nepa. Turning on the bridge view screens the planet Nepa. The gases of Nepa's atmosphere burn vividly against the black of space. Entering standard orbit around Nepa, Captain. Well, maybe we just don't shoot it down and we just follow it down to Nepa. It's crashing already. We need to lower the shields. Lower shields. Otherwise we can't use the transporter. Acknowledged. We didn't go to the tall system, though. Winner. Assemble away team. I don't know the word assemble. I don't know the word away. I don't know the word team. God, I hate this game. Transporters. Prepare party. That's what I need to type. Okay. And then beam us down. You're inside the small round room, which is the main cabin for this ship. Oh, we just beamed directly onto the crashed ship. Storage compartments line the walls. There's a small table and 2 chairs bolted to the floor in the middle of the room. Portal through which the pilot's cabin can be seen is to the floor. A small crawlway leads aft. This wasn't even in the DOS game. This is completely, yeah. This is completely removed from the DOS version. This is wild. Save. Okay, Spock? Yes, Captain. Let's open up the orders menu here. Planet orders, because we're on a planet. We need to scan for life. Sorry, sir. No unusual life readings on the proximity scan. Didn't do much good. Planet orders. Maybe we can just scan for the scepter. That's all we really care about. Scan what, sir? Scan for scepter? I don't know the word for. No. Hello, Toisha. Welcome. Hello. Let's have Spock have everybody fan out. Bad obj num sus 26 num equals 0. Okay, let's not have everybody fan out. Let's go back. Let's just explore by ourselves. I love these Star Trek games. I'm happy people like watching them. Like, these are so cool. Every game is different too. Like, every game has a unique vision of what it's like to model the Enterprise and command a crew, and it's always so fun to see all the different takes on it. And we've only been playing games based on the original series. Like, there's tons of games based on Next Generation as well, which has their own spin on it. Let's just go up to pilot's cabin. Piloting compartment of the scout ship's barely large enough to admit 2 people. Most of the instrumentation's inoperative. The rest flashing red and yellow failure indicators. The pilot's lying on the deck, barely conscious. So there's life here. There's a living man in this ship, yet Spock was unable to find it with his scanner. God, he sucks. Struggles to his sitting position as you enter. The scepter! Sight of your phasers, enough to keep the thief sitting in on the deck. He weakly mutters a battle slogan and bites into a poison pill. He expires instantly, the royal scepter still at his feet. Captain, the Crown Prince is beamed aboard from his star cruiser Gothica 1. He's very excited about your success in tracking the ship. Inventory. Take the scepter. Let's examine that. What's this look like? Scepter? Nothing unusual. Okay. Character Renner. Beam us up. You can game over there if you enter without the phaser. Oh, interesting. Because you start the game with the phaser in your possession. Why would you ever get rid of it? His Crown Prince, His Highness, Crown Clavis, Prince of Gothica, fills your view. His childlike face beams with his joy and relief. Is he on the ship with us? Hold on. Clavis, yeah, okay. Not tall. Captain, you did get my scepter, didn't you? Give scepter. Thank you, sir. I'm so pleased you were able to retrieve the royal scepter. You and the Federation have earned our gratitude. Perhaps now, thanks to your actions, we can establish a lasting peace. Murgon will not be able to prevent the coronation now. Many thanks. Now I must hurry home. Energize. We did it. Murgon's never gonna win when we're on the case. Who's Murgon? I wonder if Murgon appears in the other games by these developers. It's very weird to name drop some like villain who's manipulating things behind the scenes, and then that's it. You just name drop them as a bad guy and then just move on. We need to return everybody back to their post and carry out our orders. We need to go to the tall system. Transporters. Return to stations. All hands back to stations. The Crown Prince followed us, Magic Imp. We followed the person who stole the scepter, and they followed behind us. They crashed on the planet. We went down after them, came back, and then the Crown Prince beamed onto the Enterprise and was waiting for us. So he took the scepter back to his planet. And now we can just move on with our orders. Back Kirk to Sulu. Sulu here, sir. Set course for Tal. I can only do that on the bridge, Captain. Why aren't you on the bridge? Go to bridge. Heading to the bridge. Why was he in? I hate Sulu. At least he's not taking off his clothes. Oops, wrong way. Where am I? Ladder? No. Go up to corridor. Go left to deck 7. Down to turbo lift. Bridge. Okay, Uhura's here. Chekhov's here. Avoka's here. Computer's here. Denjik's here. Spock's here. The gang's all here. Okay, we're good. Sulu, set course for Tal. Locking course on Tal. Warp 8. Aye, sir. Going to warp factor 8. Save. Now all we can do is just kill time. So in order to pass turns, I just walk in and out of the turbo lift. Captain Kirk is just pacing in and out of the turbo lift. Achieve destination, sir. Entering the Tal system. A chill runs down your spine when you awaken to the fact that you're in Klingon space. Captain, there's a Klingon battle cruiser on patrol here. It's changing course. We will be in his firing range in 49 seconds. Klingon battle cruiser is your least favorite nightmare. Like a bird of prey, it curves gracefully toward you. Its proud head hangs off its long, thin neck growing out of a wide wing spread. The vessel is still coming about, getting into firing range. Okay, I get on the bridge. The vessel! Raise. Shields! Acknowledged. They have a lock on us. They're firing torpedoes. Ship rumbles. The lights flicker. You breathe dust. Damage reports come in with more bad news. Chekhov! Yes, Captain? It takes a turn to address somebody! Evasive. How do you spell maneuvers? Maneuvers. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Open the command menu. Orders menu. Attack orders. Evasive. Beginning evasive maneuvers, sir. They have a lock on us. They're firing torpedoes. Chekhov. Like, I have to spend a turn addressing Chekhov. But when I spend that turn addressing him, I get shot at, and Sulu tells me I get shot, so it reverts my person I last spoke to Sulu rather than Chekhov. And I spend another turn addressing Chekhov, and then I get shot at, and I switch to Sulu. You can see this vicious cycle here. This is not good. So we can't use the menu here. We have to remember the commands and type them. Lock torps. Chekhov lock torps. Chekhov fire torps. Chekhov lock torps. What target, sir? Oh, the bird of prey, you idiot! Chekhov lock torps on Klingons. I can't. This is Chekhov. Lock torps on bird of prey. I don't know the word bird. I don't know the word prey. What target, sir? This blunts. Terravan, hello. Thank you very much for the raid. Sorry, I'm going insane here at the moment. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Hello. We're trying to fight Klingons in this Star Trek game for the Apple II, and it's a very difficult process. Attack orders. Damage report? Sure. What was that, Captain? They have a lock on us. Spock. Damage report. No damage to the Enterprise, sir. Oh, good. Nice. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Terravan and Raiders. Hello. I'm deep in the midst of a Star Trek binge. Star Trek gaming binge. This is Star Trek First Contact for the Apple II. This is the third time I've tried playing this game on stream. This is the furthest I've ever made it. We've made tremendous headway today. I just gotta figure out how to fight this ship. So the problem is I need to identify the ship. Like, Chekhov specifically asks, who do we lock it on to? So I need to tell him, lock torps on X. But I don't know what X is. Like, what is ship? Evil ship? Bad guys? Chekhov. Lock torps on Klingon ship. Okay, we got there. That was the magic phrase. They have a lock on us. They're firing torpedoes. Chekhov, fire torps. Firing torpedoes at the Klingon ship. Got him, sir! We got him! Rrr. Rrr. Why is Chekhov growling? Oh, blood too. Nice. The most bug-riddled 3D game you played. You should check out Deus. You should check out Deus, Terravan. That's probably my candidate for most bug-riddled 3D game you've played. I've played. I've even played all of Silmarils as 3D games. I think Arabian Nights is completely jacked as well. I gotta play that. Oh man, games. Gotta play more game. Urgh, their spoilers have deflected most of the shot. They have a lock on us. Every light on the helm goes red. Sulu turns to tell you that the whole armor has given away, but as he does, the port bulkhead rips open. Your ears pop as all the air rushes out. You clutch your throat and fall to the deck, gasping your last breath. I never will understand humans. We literally had no damage. I don't... Whoa. Alright. I just restored to before we arrived at the tall system. They did hit us with like 10 torps, yeah. You expect Spock to say something when they ask for a damage report after we've taken 7 torpedoes to the face. Okay, I gotta get on bridge. The parody's off here, so I'm in the turbo lift when we arrive. Okay, raise shields. Now I know how to address the Klingon ship. Phasers to full. So let's go Chekhov, lock. I don't know if we should try multiple torps or go to phasers instead. I guess we can just... We got 50 torps. Lock torps on Klingon ship. We'll just blast them. Chekhov. Fire torps. Got him, sir! Arrgh. His little growl. Chekhov. Fire torps. Got him, sir! Arrgh. Okay, I think this is telling me we should use the phasers instead, which is difficult. I assume we don't need to have a separate target lock for the phasers. I assume because we already have target lock for the torps, we don't need to reestablish target lock for the phasers. So let's just try and say Chekhov, fire phasers. Oh, got him, sir. Direct hit into the center of the vessel. Their ship appears to be disabled. Captain, the ship has slight trouble with the gravity polarizers. You better get us in a planetary orbit to take the load off it. We hit the vessel. I'm looking at my notes here. I don't actually have the name of a planet to orbit. We were told to go to the tall system here. Okay, let's put down a save since we survived the battle. I don't have the name of a planet. It might be the tall planet that we orbit, but that's the name of the star system, not the planet. Spock. Yes, Captain. We need a sensor reading. System scan. Avon, Enterprise. What does that mean? System scan Avon, Enterprise. Sulu orbit Avon? Avon Barksdale? Appearing slowly on the bridge view screen is the planet Avon. I guess Avon's the name of the planet. Yeah, they could have like displayed that, formatted that a little bit better. Entering standard orbit around Avon, Captain. Oh, let's beam down. Deck 7. Oh, this is exciting. I can't remember the command to get the away team, so let's do it through the menu here. Transporters. Prepare party. Okay, prepare party. Beam us down. The shields must be lowered before the transporter may be operated. Kirk Sulu. Sulu here, sir. Lower shields. Acknowledged. Rena. Beam us down. Like, it's a little bit cumbersome, a little bit tedious to always have to address people to talk to them. But in actuality, I think it's a really cool system here. Like, it really does feel like we're the captain, we're in command, and we're giving commands and delegating. And this game is really cool. It's kind of jacked. It's got some problems, but it's really cool at the same time. You're standing at the northern end of what appears to be a town square of a type popular on Earth. circa 1600 AD. The square is ringed by a metal fence with entrances and exits at regular intervals on all sides. The centerpiece of this area is a lush green mall dotted with flora. To the north, you see a road leading to a great hall or theater. A cathedral-like edifice is in the east. To the west, a dirt road runs parallel to the west side of the square. The square continues to the south, and beyond you can see rolling hills dotted with what appear to be grave markers. Hamlet's here, and Spock, McCoy, and Scott are here. See a young man walking toward you dressed in somber but expensive-looking clothing. His eyes are melancholy and thoughtful, and in his right hand he carries a human skull, which he appears to be speaking to. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent... Oh, excuse. You see that? There's my copy of Infinite Jest, right there. There it is. You see that? I'm pointing at the J. I can't read that book. I've tried a couple times. It's unreadable. It's so hard to read. One of these days I'll try again. Oh, excuse me. I didn't see you, good people, waiting upon me. My name is Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. In this remnant pate was once a friend to me. It's thoroughly unreadable. The thing with Infinite Jest is you can see it there. It's a thick book. It's a chunky book. It's formatted in a way such that every page has footnotes, and the footnotes refer you back to the footnote section at the end of the book. Almost every page has something in footnotes, and so while you're reading it, you constantly have to put a bookmark in, go to the back of the book, check the footnote for okay, footnote A, chapter 1, read that. Okay, now go back to chapter 1, let's read. Oh, there's footnote B. Okay, let's go back to the book, read footnote B. Okay, now go back to chapter 1. And you're just constantly going back and forth like that. It makes it very tedious to read. And sometimes, yeah, the footnotes are 20 pages long. I really want to read it just to have done it. Like, I want to just knuckle down and just read the book just to have read it, but it's hard. It's onerous to read. It takes serious concerted effort to read that book. I think it's a good book too, from what I remember. Like, the prose is well written. What's David Foster Wallace, I think his name is, the author, is a very good writer. It's just the structure of the book is so bizarre. I'm looking at my map here. Boop, there's the map. So this is the map from the DOS version of the area we're in. There's a giant area to explore here. In the DOS version, all we have to do is find this rope here and shoot it with our phaser. And there's just a whole bunch of rooms that we don't need to do anything, or rather we can't do anything in, otherwise we die. There's like weapons littered about. This is essentially a theater planet. And we'll get the full story here. I don't know if I should... let's examine Hamlet. Nothing unusual about Hamlet. Oh yeah, just perfectly normal. I haven't read House of Leaves. I know that book got really big when MyHouse.wad came out a couple years back, but I've never gotten into that whole can of worms. I bet it'd be really cool. Doesn't House of Leaves like use color in it? Like some very novel way to like use color like in the book? And that sounds like a very silly thing to say, but like there's... Am I thinking of House of Leaves? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Every time the word house is written, it's written in blue. Okay. I thought there was something unique or novel like that. Yeah. That's cool. Let's just go backstage. Wait, I'm just gonna go. You're on a road. To the north is a great hall. The facing of its vestibule is inscribed Avon Theatre of the Bard. Its stone steps are flanked by 4 large pillars. A massive wooden double door leads to the theater's vestibule. To the south is the town square. Let's go to the vestibule. Standing on the vestibule. On the west wall, pair of masks. Large doors framed by a variety of mounted weapons. The east wall of the anteroom is filled by a mural depicting a small island being lashed by a great sea storm. Let's go to the theater. Candy machine's here. Ice cream truck is out there somewhere. Can you hear that? Stand within the massive theater of the Bard, surrounded by row upon row of empty seats. To the south is the vestibule, to the north lies the great stage. To the stage! Standing on the great stage of the theater of the Bard. Above you, bright multicolored lights flash in sequence. To the north, scenery panels shuttle on and off, manipulated by a system of hydraulic hands. To the east and the west are the wings, the backstage areas of the theater. In this area, Prospero. See a wizened but regal old man seated upon a large stuffed armchair at center stage. His long white hair and flowing beard rustle slightly as a breeze blows out from the wings. He seems deep in thought, as if oblivious to you and your party. Oh, look at this! This looks so much better in color as opposed to the DOS version. So we're here because this is the source of the super pulse that we were tracking. Well, we were tracking. We followed the super pulse to its origin, the Tal system. We fought the Klingons who got there before us. We blew them up and killed them, so they're nothing to worry about. And then the only planet in the Tal system was this one here. And so we beamed down. And it's Shakespeare land. There's probably lots of cool little flavor text and details we can discover here, but I'm just going to walk to the right. Standing in the wings of one of the 2 backstage areas which flank the theater of the Bard's great stage. From this position, stage hands manipulate the lights, scenery, and curtains. The stage lies to the west. In the area, curtain rope. And we just need to make the curtain fall. So we need to adjust our phaser to kill. There's a fire. Phaser, that's rope. Who are you talking to? Oh, okay, I said that. Kirk just stood there. Fire, phaser, at rope. Kirk, what are you doing? Just do it. Use phaser, rope. Shooting the curtain rope. Phaser hits the old frayed rope and instantly snaps it. The rusted pulley, no longer able to support the heavy velvet curtain, breaks. There's a thick rippling sound as the ancient curtain begins to unfurl for the first time in decades. Amid a tremendous clatter and great clouds of dust, the curtain falls. Animation, the end. The android enters. You see an actor, now divested of whatever costume and identity it once wore, stepping over piles of discarded costumes and walking toward you. So, in the DOS version, I should mention, we have the map here. There's all these different rooms, roads, maces, weapons. If you explore at all, you die. Knight of the Long Knives or whatever, Caesar. I'm not familiar with Shakespearean plays, but you get stabbed as if you were Caesar in Knight of the Long Knives, the Ides of March, whatever. I'm very ignorant of history. And so you're kind of forced to just walk up to the stage. There's nothing else you can do and live. And you eventually learn that, I guess they're about to tell us here, But all of the actors are just robots. And like, you can use your phaser to shoot Hamlet. And Hamlet like gets repaired. Like a bunch of like he's filled with wires and such, and then a repair crew comes out and like carts him away. We didn't do any of that. Yeah, it's Hitler, Caesar. Yeah, a couple differences. I may have been off a little. Ah, oh, Captain, the man who liberated us from our mad compulsion. Welcome to Avon. Splendid plays those were. I got better all the time. Now we need not pretend. I must show you our secret. Come. You stand in an isolated area, quite unlike the Elizabethan landscape you have seen elsewhere on Avon. There's no grass or flora, only rocks, volcanic ash, and protruding from the ground a tail section of a wrecked spacecraft. Come upon an area of Avon which the Celestials did not terraform. It's harsh and inhospitable, full of sand, glittering rocks. Ahead, half submerged, you see the tail assembly of a crushed spaceship. Oh, yes. That's so cool. The green stars. There it is, Captain. The ship that brought us to Avon so long ago. The dire spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, as the bard said. Well, let's go. Let's go. Graveyard. You stand at the eastern end of the Avon Cemetery of the Bard. The mist is thicker here, making it difficult to see. It seems otherwise similar to the west end. As you look down, you notice the fog completely shrouds your legs. Caliban Weird Sisters! You begin to make out a humanoid form sitting with its legs dangling into an open grave. The creature turns to face you, revealing a hideous visage that would make even your veteran crew members shudder. Something of fish and something of man, but nothing flattering to either. Speaks in a cracked and croaking voice, like bubbles rising from a pool of slime. Welcome to Avon, good travelers. Here there be monsters. Such a one as I, Caliban, whose hag mother slain by Prospero was. Do you tote the sweet balm? Perhaps you have some good drink for poor, wretched Caliban. Heavy cemetery mist part slightly to reveal a trio of spectral images. 3 hags floating through the fog. One stirs a boiling cauldron, while the others caper with surprising delicacy against the blue-black sky. This wasn't in the DOS version. Go back, I'm scared. I want to examine the wreck. Nothing unusual about the wreck. Captain, a beam just shot past the ship. We may be under attack. Go to Spock. Come here. Tell me about wreck. There's nothing unusual about the wreck. We gotta bust in. I'm firing my phaser. Use phaser on wreck. The blast has no effect! So again, in the DOS version, we simply walked into the ship. It would appear there is something a bit more to do here. Guess we explore? Go to the graveyard? Stand on a hill overlooking several dozen grave markers of various sizes and styles, a variety of leafless trees. Sprawling graveyard seems to possess a different climate than the rest of the town. Oh goodness. Freakish winds manipulate the dead tree branches like a master puppeteer, causing the limbs to undulate in a slow, disturbing way. Thick, smoky fog clings to the ground, obscuring some of the smaller tombstones. To the east, the cemetery. To the north, road leads back to the square. Android, tell me about wreck. There's nothing unusual about the wreck, sir. Questions. Can you help us? You have helped us. It is only just that we help you. I'll take you to the ship that brought us to Avon. We're okay. We're there. Can I open the ship? Touch the ship. Let's touch it. I forgot I could touch things. Touch the wreck. There is no perceptible effect. If we look, questions? How did you get here? The Thespis, our ship, wandered off course due to navigational malfunction. Before the error could be corrected, we found ourselves at the perimeter of an asteroid belt. The Thespis was badly battered, the human crew killed, but emergency navigation equipment allowed us to escape the asteroid belt. We limped through space, warp drives dead, most of our equipment beyond repair. It was then we were intercepted by the Celestials, a greatly advanced race who did their best to save us. Celestials brought us here to what was a dead world, and before our optical sensors created the idyllic sector on which we built Avon. They also rebuilt us as sentient, albeit severely circumscribed life forms, provided us with compatible environment, but locked us into a repetitious theatrical program. You are our first live audience, and we thank you for freeing us by bringing down the curtain. Where are the Celestials? I don't know the word Celestials. Of course not. Maybe we can just beam directly in there. Hold on. Kirk to Brennan. Beam us up. Short time ago, an unmodulated stream of energy shot up from the surface out into space. After applying its direction, we found a small satellite. It's too small to see, but it's on the system scan. You're needed on the bridge. Okay. So that's where we have to go. Interesting, interesting. We're currently talking to Avoca, the smoking hot babe. But we need to tell Renner... transporters to return to stations. Now head to the bridge. Tech 7. Spot. Yes, Captain. Orders. Bridge orders. Scan? Scan what, sir? Scan satellite? Beyond the range of the ship's sensors, Captain. System scan? I guess we use the long range scan? Sirius, Centauri, Ashada, Tal. Those are all the systems that we've already been to, so that was not what we need to do. Oh, Sulu. Sulu orbit satellite? Oh, yes. In the DOS version, you just get automatically transported here. It just happens automatically. You don't. There's so many cool differences to this. It's a nice satellite. Appearing on the bridge view screen is a revolving, massive steel structure flickering with light. Entering standard orbit around the satellite, Captain. Without warning, the room vanishes from around you. You then materialize in a huge room with your bewildered officers. Communications channel hisses with static and goes dead. You're standing in the center of an expansive, artificial landscape deep within the satellite orbiting Avon. In the distance, you can make out a series of flashing lights of many different colors. You seem to be imprisoned within a cube of radiating energy waves. I would love to be imprisoned in a cube of radiating energy waves, personally. That sounds awesome. The energy cube extends overhead as well. Spock, McCoy, Scott, Sulu, Uhura, Chekhov, and me. Celtic never did anything! Again! Celtic! Avoca's not here either. You receive a telepathic transmission. Greetings! We know from your thoughts that you are here to seek us. We are eager to meet you as well, provided you can pass these 5 tests. Each room you visit has a test. After each one, you pass to the next. We wait expectantly at the end of your course. Okay, who's who? That's Uhura, definitely. That's all I got. This might be Kirk. This is probably Spock. This is Bones. This is definitely Bones. Just throwing his hands up in the air like, whoa. This is probably Mr. Scott, and that's Chekhov. But where's Sulu? He's off screen. He's taking the picture. Sulu's the one using the camera. Alright, we gotta solve the riddles. Save. Yeah, this is the end game. We are now in the end game. 5 riddles must be solved. So let's explore a little bit. Can't go that way. Denjik's here all of a sudden. Small mat. Small fibrous mat sits on the ground here. Slightly above it shimmers a small holographic image. Well, let's examine. Mat. The image on the mat appears to say, welcome. Let's pick it up. Under the mat is revealed a dull gray plate of unusual material. Let's examine that. The plate appears to be firmly anchored in the ground. It's nearly flush with the surrounding ground. Well, let's blow it up. Use phaser plate. Shooting the plate. Phaser burst incinerates the hard epoxy plate almost instantly. When the gagging acrid smoke clears, a ladder down is visible through the large hole. The crew, anxious to leave, proceeds down the ladder. After a moment's thought, you follow them. So that's the first puzzle. We solved it by using gun to shoot. We just blasted. You're standing within a sealed chamber. The light's provided by a circle of glowing sculptures which ring the room. The sculptures, objects of various sizes and in a disparity styles, appear to be representations of the letters T-A-H-L-E-T-E-B-H-P-A. As you walk among and around them, they appear to arrange themselves in different ways, as holograms do when seen from different viewpoints. As you look at them, a thought is projected into your mind. These sculptures represent fundamental building blocks. When ordered correctly, what do these sculptures represent? cool. So this second puzzle, of course, simply an anagram. They spell the word alphabet. Let's examine. No? So we can't examine the letters. They're not objects in the room. So I guess we just say the word alphabet. Yep. Okay. You're in a closed room with an open skylight high above. There's no way you can reach it, even with someone's help. A large metal device rests in the middle of the room. This is the one I got stuck on in the DOS version. I got stuck here. Device hums insistently in a low, throbbing tone. You all feel a bit numb and dizzy in its presence. Dizzy! Dizzy! Dizzy mentioned! So there's the device in the middle of the room, humming, making us dizzy. A thought comes to you. What container expands to hold its invisible contents? Period. The answers seem to be on the tip of your tongue. Balloon? Large balloon materializes. Large deflated mylar balloon materializes in a bundle beside you. Attached to it is a long metal cable ending in a hook. A thought forms in your mind. What is the most excited state of matter? Okay, they fixed this puzzle. They fixed this puzzle. It was worded differently in the DOS version. What is the most excited state of nature? I think it was in the DOS version. The answer is gas. Yellow gas canister of hydrogen appears next to Mr. Scott. The engineer gets an idea and hooks the cable to the nullifier, fills the balloon with gas from the canister, and it sails up and away carrying the device. It just solved itself! Mr. Scott! You thank you. Thank you, Mr. Scott. You've done a great service. So I got stuck here for the longest time in the DOS version because it did not make any sense to my poor little small peanut brain to attach the balloon to the device and float it away. Like I thought the balloon was like a standard little party balloon. It's about this big. In the DOS version, you have to manually fill the balloon with the gas from the canister. Here it's hydrogen instead of helium. Right. Sharp Door's orientation tells you you've been teleported. Your crew's here too. You're standing in a large room. There's a door in the northeast corner. You're 3 paces from the west wall and 3 paces from the south wall. Save. This reminds me of that early Deep Space Nine episode. God, what was it? That early Deep Space Nine episode where they get teleported to some room and they have to like sing little children's songs and dance. Move along home, move along home, yeah. This puzzle is very silly. There's a door in the northeast corner. We are 3 paces from the west wall, 3 paces from the south wall. Every step we take, our position changes, and it gives us our coordinates. So I just walked up, and now we're 2 paces from the south wall. So this is a tricky puzzle because the directions that you move in are not north, south, east, west. Up takes us south. You use the paces to determine our position in the room, and we're trying to go to the northeast corner. Up took me south, so we need to go down to go north. We're now 5 paces from the south wall. We may have walked through the wall and into the void. No. The door in the northeast corner of the room is so close you can practically touch it. But first, you'll have to take one more step. We're 2 paces from the east wall and 1 pace from the north wall. So we just walk left, which would normally be west, but it's east. And final test is down. Alamarine. Now stand in a square room. Light falls in narrow columns from the ceiling high above. The sliding door ahead of you glows a threatening blue. A thought comes as before, but with a voice of its own. We wait for you on the other side of this door. The first person to go to the door will open it, but will also die in doing so. By this we test your earnestness in meeting us. If you are not so earnest, you may beam up to your ship. There is no shame in this, for you have proven yourselves quite intelligent. In any case, your action will show your decision. We only have one Sulu in this one, fortunately. We don't have naked Sulu as well. Oh god, what a wreck that game was. Cool. I'm gonna save here. Naked Sulu. It's a disaster. So in the DOS version, oops, the voice. I understand your hesitation to sacrifice one of your own crew. Perhaps you'll find it easier to sacrifice an assassin. Yeah, they beam Niles here, and then we can do it wrong. We can say Niles, walk to white room. I don't know the word walk. I don't know the word white. There's some way we can command this assassin walk up. I don't know the word walk. Go up. He left. I'm trying to do this the wrong way. Spock, go white room. I don't know the word white. I don't know the word room. How would we tell them to go door? Go open door? You may only open a hailing frequency, sir. You idiot. Absolute buffoon. The solution to this puzzle is just to sacrifice ourselves and walk up to the white room. I don't know how to do it wrong, so let's just go. The door did not deliver as bad a shock as expected, so you and your crew enter the white room. The white light is not bright, but it is all about. You gaze in quiet respect upon those you came so far to meet. The call seems so unlikely, but here you are nonetheless. The Zonterites standing audience, not as judges now, but as peers. In the area. Door. Press any key to continue. This is great. Look at these guys. They're like proto-Ferengi. They're like Ferengi crossed with Shrek. The Shrek. The big purple lips. There's sunken eyes. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Way better in this than the DOS one. Welcome, Captain Kirk. Welcome, crew of the Enterprise. We have been known to you as the Celestials. We call ourselves the Zontarites. For eons, we've debated making contact with other species. As we watch the rise of the feuding Klingons at our doorstep, we decided to screen those who would meet us, thus the tests. They got tunes! You've completed all of our tests admirably. It appears we have much in common. We'd like to join your Federation, explore the wonders of the universe together. Live long and prosper. Load side 1 into drive 1 and press any key to reboot. Oh, we did it. I think this version of the game is so much better than the DOS version. This is like a legitimately really cool game. Very high effort. I really like the style it has. The presentation is incredible. The graphics are great. I really enjoy this game. It has some serious problems. Some serious problems. Which we've gone over, in that it expects the player to follow a very strict sequence of actions to make it through the game. And if you deviate from that sequence at any point in time, it feels like the entire game just kind of crumbles apart and breaks. And that's a little unfortunate. But the story is really cool. The adventure is really cool. I like how there's like an A plot and a B plot. You have to do detective work. Just the interface where you have to like give commands to people to do things for you is great. Despite all the struggles from the parser, and like maybe even because of the struggles, it feels more rewarding and satisfying to actually finally effectively communicate with the game. Like that whole fight sequence was hilarious when we had to fight the Klingons. But it's a memorable moment and it's cool. It's definitely more challenging, this version, absolutely. They simplified it and dumbed the game down for the DOS release for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. It's much more railroaded and streamlined than the DOS release. But they also cut some stuff out too. Like that small little sequence where you have to follow the ship and then beam down to that planet to recover the scepter. They completely cut that out of the DOS one. Very odd. I'm happy to finally have seen this through to the end, though. Thank you all for the GGs. This game is wonderful. I want to play the other Star Trek games that these developers made now. And that's always a good sign. There's more of them. Ah, that was cool. Good stuff. What a fun game. Thank you for watching. Star Trek Week is another resounding success. Put that over here. Finally finished this one. I've been thinking about this game all week long. We started this on Monday, and now Friday we finally beat it. Cool game, good stuff. Let's get Dizzy back on the screen here. Dizzy, where are you? Dizzy, my friend. There you are. I also played Starship Dizzy today. This was a delightful little Dizzy game. I had a lot of fun with Starship Dizzy. Great stream. Thank you all for watching. I had so much fun. Star Trek Week is another success. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna play more Star Trek games next week. Star Trek Week continues next week. I think Star Trek Week will have to continue next week. I think that it just has to happen. It just has to happen. Star Trek Week must continue next week. I don't think I even have the box art for the game. I have games in mind for next week already. I don't think I have the box art, though. I'll snag it. One moment here. I have to download some box art. We're almost to Star Trek month. We're almost there. We're very close. Where's the box? Which is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. So next week, hold on, save image, put it in the right folder. Change source. Next week we're going to play more Star Trek. We're going to play 25th Anniversary. People have been clamoring, asking for it. This is probably one of the best Star Trek TOS games, period. It's a brilliant game. I've played this one before. I'm very excited to replay it. I haven't played it in close to 10 to 15 years. It's been a long time. So it's basically going to be fresh for me. This has voice acting from the original crew. We get to hear William Shatner and DeForest Kelley do some of the most phoned-in line reads ever. I cannot wait. Yeah, we're definitely going to play the CD Talkie version, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We'll start this on Monday. The plan is to start this on Monday. Thank you, Basil, for the cheer. Thank you for the Star Trek bits. That's all I have, though. I'm very excited to play this. And once we play through Star Trek 25th Anniversary, I also want to play Judgment Rights, the sequel, because I've never played the sequel. I have played this one, but I've never played the sequel. So I think we're going to try and just knock them out both back to back. I don't know if we can do that in a week. They might... Star Trek Week might take 2 weeks next week. That's just how it goes. Time is meaningless. I'm very excited. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for the cheers, the follows. Thank you for the big emotes, for the resubs. Week 2 of Star Trek Week may take 2 weeks. It's very possible. Thank you, Dino, for the raid. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you, Teravan, for the raid, too. Thank you all. I had a great time. No streams this weekend. Monday, more Star Trek. That's the plan. Let's get out of here. What's happening online? Who's streaming? Star Trek Week might take an entire year, and that's all right with me, because I'm having a lot of fun with these. Goodness gracious, tons of streamers on. It's almost like it's Friday night. Lord Zophar has just begun his stream. I will send everybody to Zophar, the Zophar, playing some Shining Force, some comfy Shining Force. Zophar is a great streamer, plays a lot of really cool retro games, a lot more RPGs than I do. Take care. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Catch you later. Adios. See ya. Bye-bye.